Hello, hello, hello. My name, if you don't know me already, is Martin Gilchrist from Gilchrist Co Chartered Accountants. And tonight I am here with Matthew. Now, in a wee minute, I'm going to let Matthew introduce himself. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you why we're here. Matthew is working with us in Gilchrist Co. And this is really an opportunity for me to introduce Matthew to all my friends and connections across my social media profiles and the people that follow us on the Gilchrist & Co website, because I really want you to know who this guy is, because he's been working with us now a while and he is really playing an important part in what we're doing at Gilchrist & Co. But I'm going to let Matthew talk about that rather than me blow smoke about what all's going on. So, Matthew, if you don't mind.
Good evening. Thanks very much, Martin. My name is Matthew Rutherford-Jones. I'm a student accountant, and I've just joined the team as an intern at Gilchrist & Co. Really enjoying myself so far. I'm working remotely, and it's just been great.
Matthew, why are you studying accountancy?
Well, actually, I was a musician for the last 10 years, and every year when I had to do my submissions to HMRC, I found that I was actually really enjoying going through the year and figuring out, oh, how did my business do this year? I wonder, can I do something better next year? Can I grow? Can I improve? And I realized that I was actually really enjoying accountancy. I didn't know what it was that I was enjoying until I started looking into it. And yeah, I decided to study it, essentially.
Okay. I think we can see that in the practice. People may not be aware, certainly people who have been following the progress that Michelle and I have been made over the years across our social media profiles, and when they see us out and about, may not be aware that Gilchrist & Co actually hold a Excellence in Training certificate from the Institute of Chartered Accountants in Ireland. What that essentially means is that the Institute came out right when we were in the early stages of our business and did an assessment of our policies and processes and practices, the type of clients we had and the work that we did, both the depth and the breadth of the experience that we could provide to young trainee candidates, and made an assessment that we would be a credible and legitimate training practice for young chartered accountants coming out. Now, although we have that certification and permission effectively to take on young trainees, we tend not to do it very much anymore, because as a small practice, we're a busy practice and it takes quite an investment to take on a young trainee. So it's only in exceptional circumstances now that this actually happens. And I was delighted when a friend of mine and a guy who I know through different business activities that we have done, Ross Moffat. Now, Ross Moffat, I know from his role in Fleet Financial, and I have attended events and spoken at events of theirs in the past, and I've got to know him quite well through that. And Ross recommended Matthew to me and to our practice. And since Matthew has been with us, it's been quite clear that Matthew has an exceptional aptitude for accountancy, which shines through. And that's I'm basing that upon our experience of quite a few trainees that have come through the practice, and some of them stand out. And Matthew, I don't want to embarrass you, but I have to say that it is the case that you do stand out. You do have the aptitude and the acumen and the clear academic ability for the professional role. But you've chosen, and this is something that young accountants or trainee accountants have to do, they have to choose a route. Can you tell us about the accountancy qualification you're studying towards and how it's been going?
Sure. So I'm studying through ACCA, and it's been going great. I've written 3 exams so far, and I really enjoyed them, actually. Just the other day, I had an exam, and I was sitting down with everyone before it started. We haven't had an opportunity to chat, and I'm not sure if everyone's enjoying having to study as much as I am, but it's great. It's great to sort of, I suppose, now that I'm an adult, when I was a child at school, and at university, it wasn't fun. It was something I had to do. But now that it's something I'm interested in, now it's something I'm inspired by, working towards getting your qualifications is sort of a dream.
Very good. It helps if you're doing something that you're passionate about. I know that when I was studying, I did accounting as a professional qualification, but I did law as an academic qualification at university, and I used to love law until I had to do exams, and you were forced to learn stuff. I think when it's something that's forced upon you rather than you get choice to do, I think it makes it more difficult. But it's good. It definitely helps. If I would say that to anybody that's taken up a profession, you need to have an interest in what it is that you're doing, because it's a tough old road, and I'm sure you're finding it already, Matthew, that they don't set easy exams in accountancy, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, but they do make it tough, and you have to be committed in order to make it through. But the question I suppose have is that you're coming to this as an adult, and you have had a music career, a successful music career up until now. Have you given up the music entirely, or what will you do with that particular skill set that you have?
No, music will always be a part of my life. I mean, I've been playing, I started violin when I was 5 years old. I moved to guitar when I was a teenager. It has always been a part of my life, and it always will be a part of my life. I think I'm just sort of developing new interests and really enjoying where this is going. I'm very excited about the future. I really appreciate you and Michelle giving me this opportunity to work with you guys and learn what it is to be an accountant, and get my hands dirty with the work, as I'm going. So I'll never stop playing. But this is, accounting is where I am at the moment.
Good. And what surprised you in your time with Gilchrist Co? What has surprised you about working in a small accountancy practice that you were maybe not expecting, that's different than what you thought it was going to be, or maybe there's nothing surprised you at all?
No, I've been excited about working in accountancy for a while. I've been imagining and I've been sort of dreaming about it. So I'm pleased to say that it's just been it's pleasantly been exactly what I was expecting, what I was hoping for. So I'm afraid nothing surprised me yet, but there's still a lot to go, I think.
Good. I'm glad that we've been living up to your expectations and haven't dampened or disappointed you in any way in relation to your accountancy experience so far. And hopefully we haven't put you off too much by the mill we've put you through over the last month or so, because we've had you doing an awful lot of stuff, everything from bank reconciliations to business planning, people management, and maybe a little bit of everything in between. So hopefully we haven't been doing overdo it, but you seem to be stepping up to the challenge very well. And I suppose one of the questions is, and one of the unusual situations because of the whole COVID thing, is that you have been working almost entirely remotely. Like, we only get to see each other face to face maybe once a week for 10 minutes as we hand over books and stuff. How have you found the whole working remotely situation with Gilchrist Co?
It's been great, actually. I'm still getting the human element thanks to you and Michelle meeting with me twice a day. So I really do feel part of the team. If I ever have a question, all I have to do is message, and you guys get back to me right away. It's absolutely, I do not feel lonely or left out in any way. It's very enjoyable, and of course I can be in my comfy room with all my jackets and my plant. So no, it's great.
Good. I'm really glad it's working out for you. Part of the reason why Matthew has had to work remotely is that even in Gilchrist Co, Michelle and our higher level apprentice James have all been working remotely since March. We haven't really been in the Gilchrist Co office properly on a full-time basis since March. So this is the world in which we now live. But I have to say it is a world which I'm getting used to. Although I miss the face-to-face interaction with clients and the networking and the presentations and the public speaking and all that great stuff that we used to be able to do beforehand, which is all now stopped. There's something nice about, you know, having your own kitchen, your own bathroom and your own living room and being able to eat lunch at home. And, you know, there's a lot about that you can get used to. And so long as the communication channels are still open, and so long as questions can be answered and issues been addressed, I feel it's worked very well for us as well. I've been pleasantly surprised that between us how well we have been able to make this work. Last two questions, Matthew. I know it's late in the evening and I appreciate you taking time out of your evening to let me introduce you to my friends and contacts here. So I don't want to keep you too long, but is there a particular speciality or area of accounting, finance, or tax that you're interested in following or taking forward for the future?
Well, obviously, I'm still so green. There's a lot to see. But at the moment, I feel like I'd like to get into business advisory. I'd love to help small businesses to progress with what they're doing. Not everyone cares about accounts and about numbers. And sometimes, you know, you just want someone to help you through the bits that you don't really want to think about. I'd love to be that person for businesses if I could in the future.
Very good. I had another question, which was what are your plans for the future? But I think you pretty much wrapped that up with that final question. Unless there's anything you want to add about your plans for the future, or do you think we covered that in that last question?
Be as great as I can. There you go.
Well, that's what it's good. It's good to have ambition, energy, and drive. Matthew, I think that's a really nice sum up of who you are and what you've been doing with us here at Gilchrist Co Chartered Accountants. I want to thank you for taking time this evening to meet up with me, to have this chat online. I know it's not always the most comfortable thing, you know, sharing of yourself, as it were, to the web, to the interwebs and everybody that's on there. But I really appreciate you taking out the time this evening to have a wee chat. Stay online after we finish the recording. I'll have a bit of a chat afterwards. But to anybody who's seen this evening, I hope you've enjoyed the conversation on the introduction. If you want to reach out to Matthew or you want to get in contact with him, certainly reach out through the normal Gilchrist & Co connections, whether that be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or even directly through the website, telephone, and email address, and we will certainly introduce you and give you an opportunity to have a conversation. And apart from that, until next time, folks, see you later.